You see, the sun never sets. It only converges on a miraged horizon, a mirrored horizon. And that mirrored horizon is what pulls the sun down past the convergence of your eyes. You can no longer see it once it gets beyond that convergence line. You have to think about two parallel lines and where they converge at. And if you can see past that convergence, that would be a wonderful thing. Now, one of the good things about having zoom cameras is you can zoom in and see a lot farther than what our naked eye can see. And this helps us as researchers to research what we've been told and find out whether or not it's the truth. And what I see out here is a convergence. And of course, once something goes beyond that convergence line, you are not going to be able to pull that back, even with a zoom camera. I mean, you have atmosphere, and I don't like to use the word atmosphere because it's an plane. You have air density that builds up between you and the sun that actually blocks out what you see. If it's the sunlight that is being blocked out, why is it that when the sun appears to go over the curvature of Earth, why doesn't it get immediately dark out right where I'm standing? I mean, I can see for hours. You know, it's pretty light out still after the sun supposedly goes over the curvature of Earth. It should be almost like turning out a light switch, but you don't see that. If you turn around and look behind you sometimes, you'll see the sky and the clouds all still lit up, and they tell you, oh, that's because, you know, you have to increase your height in order to, um, you know, get the sun to shine on you. Oh, you know, you can go up in a drone or a plane and, you know, you can bring the sun back into your vision. Well, of course you can, because that's the same way with two parallel lines. The higher you go up, once you get in between the two parallel lines, you can see all the way to the end. But again, there's going to be a convergence. No matter how good of a zoom you have, it is going to converge. And at one point or another, you are no longer going to be able to see past that convergence line. Now, I filmed this from an observation tower called Jenkins Creek. It's actually a little park across the street from Jenkins Creek. There's a fishing pier over here to the right. Um, and then there's a park across the street. Now, this observation tower is very nice, but there is only one problem: is people come up, they really do shake the crap out of it, and you'll see some shaking going on in this. There's nothing I can do about it. I try to go up there when there's least amount of people, but sometimes there's so many people. To have a zoom camera up there is, it's almost a joke, because of the fact that everything just gets shaken up so bad you can't make out heads or tails. But you can see this power line here, and as the sun reaches this power line, it's not going in front of that power line. That power line is, you know, 30, 40, 50, 60 feet from me. It's not that far. So, you know, it's an illusion. Even with the clouds, you got less dense clouds that the sun will appear to shine right through and give you the appearance of them going in front. Just like the power line's very close, but it will appear to go in front of that power line. It's just common sense stuff that, you know, a lot of people, I don't know what it is, why they don't use that common sense, but everything, you know, we see as far as that sun setting is really an illusion. It's an illusion caused from mirrors. Like I said, these the mirroring, the miraging that's out on the water is not a perfectly flat mirror. It is a concave, convex mirror effect that you get out there because you have waves and swells. And these waves and swells can react differently on every different sun. I mean, on every different sun departure, you can have a different effect. And I've captured many different effects of the sun. And one of the things that I like is watching how it morphs through these clouds. That is pretty spectacular. We have a lot of water in our atmosphere, and that can actually magnify the sun itself. And that's why I don't buy into, using a solar filter and them saying that the sun never changes size. The reason why is because it is being magnified. Um, I have a bunch of examples, but it's of the even the beacon lights that I film. Sometimes they're large, sometimes they're small, sometimes they're compressed, sometimes they're stretched. Um, so we have all different kinds of effects that go out there, and this is what makes it very hard to explain and describe to people what I see, is because there are so many different effects. But what I always like to tell people is think and see for yourself. Now, you may think that these, after it goes through this layer of clouds here, that's clouds beyond it, but that's really just air density. And that's why we're able to see through it and see the sun the way that it is. But as it approaches the water, watch how it mirrors, and then you can actually watch it vanish into its own reflection. It's actually moving farther and farther away within that reflection. And yes, there could be some looming, some magnification going on with it, but all in all, I think it is vanishing within its own reflection, just as you can do with a mirror, a long mirror, and if you got the right distance, you can recreate this. I tried to, but I didn't have a long enough distance. But I'm not giving up on that little test yet, so I will be testing again. Appreciate y'all watching. Thanks a lot. Like, subscribe, share, use, mirror. My videos are free. Do what you like. All right. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. I appreciate all my subscribers too. You've really encouraged me to continue on. Thank you very much for that encouragement.